Yo, what's going on, everybody? It is 3 p.m. here in New Vienna, Iowa. That means it's time for another live stream. Today is Wednesday, December 30th. Only 2 more days left in the year 2020. Hopefully you guys are doing well. I've noticed I've got like something going across my forehead here. It's because I was just wearing a winter cap outside with the girls. We walked over to my sister-in-law's house, and they have a much steeper hill behind their house. So we're all sledding outside. And just got back in a little while ago, so I'm still got like my hat kind of forehead. I guess that's what happens when you don't have like a lot of hair over here to worry about, but in my forehead area, but got it on my head. But I've been having fun today. I've been enjoying the snow. I had a really nice snowy run this morning. Very tiring, but a lot of fun. And then the girls wanted to be outside. We were outside for like an hour and a half, and it is brutally cold out there. Temps are around freezing, but the winds are just insane. So like I was surprised that my girls made it, but I made the baby wear her ski goggles. I wore my ski goggles. My daughter, she claims because she's a winter baby, she doesn't need like as many winter layers. So she refused to wear her ski goggles, but we were out there for like over an hour, maybe an hour and a half. By the time we got back, we were all cold and then starving. So we were all just like scarfing food down. How are you guys doing today? Let's say hi to everybody in the podcast version, everyone listening on the audio only. Welcome. Glad to have you. Hope you guys are having a good run today. And everyone watching on YouTube after the fact, welcome. Good to see you as well. First, let's start off with Jenna says, today she did a second attempt at a 5K virtual, set a new PB of 25:18. Awesome. She came in second in the women's under 39. Well done. And 15th overall. What a way and end to 2020. Well done. Very well done. Good job, Jenna. All right. We got David Gutierrez. He's here early for once. Welcome. Good to see you. Fernando's here. Says good afternoon. Brett Reed. Good to see you again. Inez Dunbar's here. Hi, Kofuzi, everybody. It looked like you had really nice light for your run with the dog today. Some great pictures that I saw on Instagram. All right, we got David Gutierrez says he can't wait for races to go live. Excited to do his first marathon, whatever that may be. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of weird to think of it because I feel like I've done an ultra now. I've done a 50K, but I still haven't done one in real, like a real one, an actual one. Not like I wanted to do one with like a medal and aid stations and like eating a lot of food during the thing and all that. So like, yeah, I can't wait for like races to come back, but I don't know. Like I go in spurts of like watching the news obsessively and then I'm needing to take a break. I'm nearing like needing to take another break time for watching the news because I just keep hearing about how like the numbers of the vaccine, like the vials have been made, but like they're not getting to people. And then, I don't know if this is true or not. I think it was my wife or my mother-in-law saying a story that they read, like there was just some hospital in Florida that was like, yeah, these are about to go bad. So like anyone that wants to get a vaccine, roll up, and so like, and that seems really crazy to me. Hopefully that's not happening, but I'm getting a little bit anxious about that. I was also like talking to my wife yesterday and we were like, so like when it comes to this vaccine thing, like, is there like am I going to get a text or like, how does that work? Like we're really concerned. There doesn't seem to be a lot of like, everyone's excited about like the emergency youth authorization, the EUA, but how does that get from there to like a normal person like me getting a shot? So I don't know. Hopefully that'll all become clear soon. Ahmet Yavuz Pekel says, greetings from Istanbul. Awesome. Welcome. Brett Reed says, hey, Co, do you think it's bad for your feet to run exclusively in high cushion shoes and racers? Wondering if I'm doing my feet and legs a disservice. I would say probably a little bit. If you're doing it exclusively, and I think it also is going to depend like who you're asking for that advice from or that answer from. So like if you're talking to like someone that's more leaning towards the spectrum of like, if there's like, give me more technology the better. And like, we should be running barefoot. If someone's closer to like the we should be running barefoot camp, they're going to be like, yeah, of course you're doing a disservice because there's all these muscles and nerve endings and bones in your feet, and they all need to be giving signals to your brain in terms of how to run. And when you're running in high cushion shoes, it still wants to get that sensory information. So it pounds harder and harder. So it just becomes this like Cold War where it's like, you need more cushion because your foot keeps pounding harder. But when there's more cushion, your foot pounds even harder still, and so it just keeps going back and forth. That's like what like the more minimalist person would say. I think. I don't mean to speak for them because I'm not one of them, but I think that's kind of what they would say. But I think on the other hand, like for me, it's like, I feel I don't really have too much of a problem with it. I think I find myself gravitating more towards more high cushion stuff, especially in the race category, but also in daily trainers. But I feel like, I'm enjoying running, and I don't know that it's hurting me. I mean, I guess you can make the argument I had runner's knee earlier this year, but I don't think it's a problem. But I also rotate shoes really frequently. So I don't really know. I can't speak from personal experience. Jennifer Herring says, "Hi Kofuzi, your sneakers in the snow video was quite satisfying. I did over 1,900 miles for the year. It's the most ever in a year. Happy New Year to all." Well, that's fantastic. 1,900 miles. Great work. Awesome. I love hearing people's yearly mileage. So cool. Let's see. Frank is back from skiing for a couple of days. Awesome. Managed not to have a go inside at all except for the place where we were staying. Whoa. That's amazing. That's cool. See, I would like to ski, and there's like a little ski. I don't want to call it a resort. There's a little place that has a ski lift on a hill around here, and I want to go, but I'm like, if I take my kids, they're gonna need to go to the bathroom like every hour, even if they don't have to go, and like we're gonna end up spending like 20 minutes out of every hour inside in the bathroom. So I just feel like I don't know if I could do that, but I would like to go skiing. Sledding down my sister-in-law's hill is probably the best I'm gonna get for a while. Daryl Granger coming in from College Station, Texas. Welcome. AJ Munt says, "Hey Michael, what's your favorite heart rate monitor?" My favorite is the Polar OH1. It's the armband one that I wear up here. It's like this little puck. It's like the size of a coin. It's back there. I don't have it right by me, and it sticks like right in your armband. You put it up on the bicep. It even has a clip that you put on goggles if you're swimming, so you can get heart rate while you're swimming. I like that one in the winter because it works for me all winter long. In the summer, like there's that elastic band, gets real sweaty, and so I don't like it as much. In the summer, I usually like a chest strap. And for me, I just like them. I keep it simple. They all seem to be relatively accurate enough for my purposes. And so I like my favorite is the Sunto one because it's really small, but I don't think they make it anymore. I don't know what Sunto is doing overall as a company, but I really don't know what they're doing with their accessories. I like the Wahoo. The Wahoo ticker is really cheap, but it's big. And then I have this one that happens to be hanging out right here, the Polar H9, which is a knockdown version from their Polar H10. But the H9, it's like it gives you a heart rate. It works. So I like that one. It's kind of like in the middle. It's relatively cheap, not completely bulky. It works for me. So those are my two kind of favorites. All right. Let's see what else we got here. For anyone that's new here today, feel free to jump in and say hi, introduce yourself to everybody, or I've seen people already been doing that, letting me know where you're coming in from. But if you have any running questions or things that you want to talk about, feel free to drop them in the chat. There's no real structure sometimes there's structure, but not on a Wednesday. So we're all just hanging out, enjoying each other's company at the end of the year here. All right. Scotty B. I'm back in from shoveling. I bet you shoveled a bunch. We got so much snow here. They got 6 inches. Uh-oh. Oh, no. All right, I think I'm back. Can everyone hear me now? All right. Yeah, Scotty B, did your camera bring the live stream? No, every time I move this computer here, I always end up inadvertently unplugging it. And it's one of those giant gaming computers that just sucks battery, even when it doesn't need to. And so, yeah, it gives me the warning that it's low on battery, and it shuts off at the same time. So sorry about that, but I'm back. So, yeah, Scotty B, what was going on? You got 6 inches of snow. We got a little bit less than that, but yeah, it's heavy snow. A lot of powder. So it was a lot of fun. All right, sorry about that, everybody. All right, Fernando says welcome back, and yeah, I'm on. I like this. Look at this, La Pizza de Famille, right? So look at that. That's a beautiful looking pizza. Tasty. Now I want pizza. I'm hungry. Chris Dyke says, first run in the Boston 9s today. Easily the best shoe in the rain for non-GTX weatherproof shoe. Yeah, the Continental rubber is nice. It's really good. That's cool. I'm a big fan of the Boston 9. La Pizza says he's from, I'm assuming but La Pizza is from Madagascar. That's amazing. Really cool. Spence Ohm says, y'all doing a New Year's countdown stream? I joined for that. That's pretty cool. I mean, I guess there's got to be someone for who the 3 p.m. live stream. I'll do it because I'm planning on doing a live stream tomorrow. There's got to be someone for who 3 p.m. Central Time is midnight. So for that person, maybe I'll come on like a minute early and we'll like introduce 2021. But I don't know. Other than that, like I don't think I've been awake for midnight for a good like decade, probably a decade. It's been a very long time since I've been up. Maybe like the year before my daughter was born, like my oldest. So she'll be turning 9 soon. So it's probably been about 9 years, maybe 8 years since I've been up for midnight when the clock strikes. So, but yeah. But it's kind of a cool idea. I feel like of all the years to have like a New Year's live stream, it should be this year. Maybe I'll join someone else's. Let's see. Adam Steve says, related to Mike's video today, I nominate Am I in the Right Stream for the weirdest live stream meme of the year. That's fantastic. Remember, like, oh my goodness, that was so strange. Where like every for like a good 2 weeks, there was 2 live streams every day. I'm still not really sure why that happened, but I'm glad it's not happening anymore. Knock on wood. I'm sure now that I've said that though, and that we've talked about it, it's going to happen again. But that was a very strange time. Affluent Journey says, preparing to run my first half marathon in February. First 11-mile run this morning at 9:11 pace, 42 years old, 5'10", 135. Should I run an Azero Pro or SL20? Thanks for the inspiration to y'all, YouTubers. I think you could go with either one. Both of them are good choices. I think the Adazero Pro is going to be a little bit more cushion for you because of that boost in the heel. So I might lean that way, but like numbers wise, you and I are pretty similar. You're a little bit lighter than I am, but pretty close. And I think for the half marathon, both of them are going to be pretty good options. Both of them are going to be a lot of fun. I think I might go with the Adazero Pro for that if you got both of them. But I wouldn't go out and buy the Adazero Pro if you don't have it. But if you've already got it, I think that's the time to use it. Good luck in February. I mean, and if you've already done an 11-mile run and you got till February, you're in pretty good shape. So stick with it. You're going to do great. Carrie Smith said they've got 20-mile-an-hour gusts here. I kept thinking that saying, I had to read it once first because I thought it was saying guests. I'm like, 20-mile-an-hour gusts here. I'm like, what are you doing? 20-mile-an-hour gusts here, having a hard time getting out the door. What's funny is when it gets windy, the wind cuts through right by the front door of the house and it catches the door that we have to get out. I mean, there's like the regular door and then there's like the screen door. And every day, because I don't know how windy it's going to be, you always kind of open it a little bit and like let it out to see if the wind's going to take it or not. And then if you're like, oh, it's not windy, then you can go out. But I always have to watch out today I didn't do that, and the wind took it and went whoosh, and it slammed, and then I just was walking the dog in the morning before my run, and then I came back in. And my wife was like, "Did you break the door?" I was like, "No, the wind just took it. Sorry." Albert Long said, "It's my day off today, and I slept so deeply. On my fourth cup of coffee and still not awake." Oh, well, maybe you should just go back to bed. Man. Oh, good luck. I'm good that you have a day off today, though. That's nice. I was thinking about it today. I'm drinking another. I just made this coffee before the live stream, and I feel like I'm on my 12th day in a row of justifying to the live stream why I'm drinking coffee at 3 p.m. And I just think that's where I'm at. I'm gonna be okay with it. I mean, it's not affecting my sleep. I don't think it is. I'm still able to fall asleep basically at the drop of a hat at the end of the night. So, but I do enjoy having the coffee. I mean, afternoon coffee is my favorite. I mean, I like the first cup in the morning, and then I like afternoon coffee. Those are my favorites. Jeff Elliott says, "I love how that catamount looks in the snow." Yeah, I think they're really onto something. And I don't know if it's an Easter egg, but on the catamount, it's white on blue, right? But there's a very thin overlay on the bottom that's supposed to give it a little bit of weather protection. So it's a little bit on the toe cap, on the bottom of the upper. Bottom of the upper is a weird word, but so on the toe cap, and then along the sides of it, and along the heel cup along the back. And it's kind of like a opaque, kind of almost a very, very faint white blue to it. And I don't know if it's just the way that the cameras picked it up or not, or if the shoe is a color change shoe, like a can of Coors Light. I was just like, this is a can of Coors Light on my feet, because I felt like my feet looked extra blue, bluer than usual. So I just don't know if it was just the way that the light was hitting the camera, because there was the blue foam and then it was going in the white snow, or if that TPU overlay or whatever that material is actually maybe not intentionally changes color, but maybe becomes more opaque in the cold. I don't know, but it looked like my shoes were extra white to blue in it. It had bluer streaks in the parts that were getting in more snow. So I was like, this is a pretty cool video. It was peculiar. It was weirding me out for a second. The Haas dog says, "I watched your What You Eat in a Day video. In terms of calories, do you track it or purely eat based on hunger?" I, for the most part, eat based on hunger. I pay a little bit more attention when I have when I'm in a higher training volume period, and I try to focus on not eating so many chips and trying to get in a little bit more proteins. So that's kind of what I do, but I don't count how many I've had during the day. I let hunger be a guide for that. And I'm probably doing it wrong, but it seems to work well enough for me. Jody says, "The computer goes down in the middle of a live stream. It sums up 2020 perfectly." Yeah, pretty much. La Pizza says, "What brand are you most excited for in 2021? I don't know. I think I'm pretty excited for what ASICS is going to bring. Part of me is thinking that any of these meta racer prototypes, we're never going to see them. They're just not going to release it. So they'll their pros, Sarah Hall will still get to run in them. Emma Bates is a pro runner for ASICS as well, right? She'll get to run in, although Emma Bates has just been running in the regular meta racer, I think. But so I think they'll get those. I really want those to try some of them, but I don't think we'll get them. But I'm hoping, crossing my fingers for 2021 that one will come out. Excited to try the Glide Ride 2. Excited for Evo Ride 2. I might try some of those light versions of the shoes this year too, just because they're looking pretty good. It'll be interesting to see what they do with FF Blast and some shoes too. So I think that the ASICS is going to be where I'm most curious for. So I mean, they've poised themselves for biggest disappointment of 2021. So that, to put it that way. So that's kind of one thing to look at. I don't know how to say this, but you're coming in from Japan. Welcome. Good to see you. Andras Stefanich says, "Which watch are you wearing?" This is the Polar Vantage V2. That's what I got. I like it. Carlos Rivera says Hoka's going to bring it. Can't wait for the Mach 4. Hoka is going to bring it too. And, you know, I was going through all my like year-end videos and like Hoka like barely made any of them, which was peculiar because did I do a brand of the year last year? I feel like Hoka was like most improved last year or maybe the year before that. And so like, you know, to go from that to like not even making a blip, for example, like who's paying attention to the Rincon 2? Right? I mean, you're not seeing it around a lot. And I don't think it's because the Rincon 2 is bad. I just think it's because everything else is like really, really good and exciting. And so like, and the Rincon 2 was a very safe, and I'm glad it was a safe update to the Rincon 1. So like, I think that like, you know, like I think Saucony like had a killer year. Well, what do they come back with next year? You know, so I feel like it's hard to have like 2 excellent years in a row is kind of like my suspicion. So we'll see how that plays out. You know, and by the way, someone said like in the comments of today's video, like my kind of like end of year like awards video, is that are there going to be like real fake trophies to go with these awards next year? And I'm like, totally yes. And the reason why I was like, I totally need to do that is because I saw like it was MKBHD posted a picture. He made awards for his channel, but it's like best like budget smartphone, best mid-range, you know, those kinds of things, like the things that he talks about in his channel. And he made actual trophies. And I'm like, what a great idea. And I'm like, I'm just going to make trophies next year. I don't know what I'm going to do with them, but we'll see if anyone from the brands like calls me up and is like, can we have that? Because I'd be happy to send it. So like, it's kind of late to do it for this year, but for 2021, there will be real trophies. I'm not going to say they're going to be super nice, but I'll make trophies. Yeah. Sam Kim says, any chance you'd run LA Marathon in the future? Fairly likely. I'd say more likely than not. I'm not sure when, because the timing is in like April usually, isn't it? So it kind of conflicts with Boston Marathon. So that's where things get kind of, difficult scheduling wise. I'd like to run a Boston Marathon first, but then once I do one, maybe then I can make the LA Marathon like a more of a goal race for the spring, and then use the Boston Marathon as more as a celebration, since it is a difficult course, is my understanding. So yeah, pretty likely. I'd like to do that one. Ines says, I'm hoping to get a pair of Rocket X when my size is in stock. That's my shoe to look forward. Oh, okay, cool. Very cool. Yeah, I mean, that's another one where I feel like if the Rocket X had come out last year, people would be talking about that like crazy. Timing is everything. But this year, it's kind of like a blip because everyone brought carbon-plated shoes this year. Stevie76 says corn trophies. That's interesting. What is making that sound? Something's beeping here. There's always something like buzzing or beeping around here. That was actually me. But all right, yeah. You know what I was thinking about the other day with corn though? Is people every once in a while would be like, what would your like dream shoe look like? And I'm always like, I don't know. If I tried to make my own dream shoe, it would kind of turn out like the Homer Simpson car with the in-law bubble in the back. Not that I want an in-law bubble, but it just would be like it's just an atrocity. But I was thinking like, if I were to make a brand, Nike had the waffles, the outsole would look like an ear of corn. That's how I would design it. I don't know why, but I think that would be amazing to see. Someone was saying, Ben Y says, if you can get access to a 3D printer, it should be pretty cheap and easy to make trophies. Oh, I mean, it's easy to buy trophies. You can get them online, super simple. I made a trophy for our family, like fantasy football league. I mean, I didn't make it. I ordered one online and then like bought nameplates and stuff like that. So like, I'm very comfortable with like getting actual trophies from like the little, like if you ever go to like a strip mall, there's like that little store that has trophies in it. That's like a family. That's what they do. They make trophies. It's like a little family business usually. So I'm thinking about doing that, is finding like a local trophy shop and being like, can you make me a shoe of a trophy? Just a shoe. And then on it say like worst product launch of the year. That'd be a pretty funny conversation to have, I think. So, yeah. Stephen Gersdorf says, I want to see Innovate. Would love to try their graphene outsole and their much raved about midsole. Yeah, I always feel like Innovate's one of those companies that for me could be like a surprise of the year, kind of like Ultra, one of those that I've been like continually curious about, but haven't ever like pulled the trigger on any of their stuff. But I also worry that like Innovate is going to be like Solomon for me, where I'm always like, I wish I loved Solomon shoes, but I've yet to really find one that I love. And it's always going to be like, I'm just not enough trail runner to enjoy their stuff. That's kind of like my fear with Innovate for me because of the way that I run. Yeah, Dr. Funk says, yeah, was that you, Dr. Funk? I thought I remember. I couldn't remember who said it, but yeah, I'm definitely going to make some fake trophies. Martha says, Mike, did you get the craft shoes yet from the Believe in the Run guys? I haven't received them yet, but like, I mean, we've just had giant storms. We had a storm 2 days ago, and then that wasn't that big, but it was intense for a little while. Then we just got like blanketed with some snow here, and then we're gonna get more snow on Friday. So I'm not sure what's going to happen, but I did just get a UPS delivery, got some new earbuds, which I'm very excited about. So like deliveries are making their way through. To be honest, I can make the trophies with my girls. Yeah, maybe. That'd be kind of fun. Maybe if there's like a trophy kit, like maybe there's like a trophy craft kit. I could buy that and have them make it. Interesting. I went to this one event at Nike one time. It was like kind of like a design your own shoe, but it was like using like wire mesh and like ribbon and paper mache and stuff like that. It was really weird. Like 2 minutes into it, I'm like, this is terrible. But maybe we could do something like that. Maybe it shouldn't be a trophy. Maybe it should just be a shoe. And we'll just like make a shoe like out of household crafting materials. Oh, look, Amanda's here. Good to see you, Amanda. How are you? She says, the first time I'm watching live with Alex rather than after, going back to your 3 p.m. coffee. I can't fathom that. I never sleep at night. Have you tried matcha for the afternoon? Oh, no, I haven't. That's not a bad idea. Switching to something that's a little bit less, I guess, horsepower to it. But, yeah. Hi, Amanda. Hi, Alex. Good to see you guys. Well, see you guys. But thanks for tuning in live today. Yeah, for those of you don't know, Amanda and Alex, they run all along the lakefront. They live in Chicago, and I haven't seen them in a long time just because I haven't been in Chicago in a long time. And yeah, but miss you guys. Sam Kim says, thanks, Kofuzi. Just signed up for the 2021 LA Marathon. Oh, when is it? Is it still? It's not still in April, is it? That's crazy. Yeah. I mean, because I just can't imagine LA doing anything in like 4 months from now. Martha says she thinks that Boston will schedule for fall if they possibly can for number 125. Yeah, I mean they just tweeted out yesterday that they can't make a decision yet, given everything that's happening. They're trying, of course, to schedule something soon, but they're going to wait a couple more weeks before they decide something. I think that's what I heard most recently. Dr. Funk 1216 says, how great would it be if you just like show up to Nike headquarters to try to drop it off only to be escorted out by security? I mean, I wouldn't even be escorted out. I wouldn't even be allowed on the grounds, I think. Not that like they got me on a list or something. I just think because I'm like a regular person like showing up and, people be like, no, you can't come over here. So yeah. Chris Dyke says, Adidas Adios Pro or Vaporfly Next Percent. It's really close. I think that they are the two closest shoes. And I think it's no coincidence that like in a lot of races, you're seeing like most of the pros are picking, I don't know about most, but a lot of pros are picking Adios Pro or the Next Percent. They're very similar shoes. I think I like the Adios Pro more. I mean, they're both really good though. So it's hard to pick. Really hard to pick. I don't have a Next Percent right now. Otherwise, I would do the test. But I feel like I'm also not curious enough to like buy another pair of Next Percent to do the test. But they're both really fun shoes to run in. You just feel great running in them. Jeff Elliott says the LA Marathon is apparently in May. May, but I don't know. I think a lot's gonna go down in the next like month or two, so I just can't like plan past like a month out at this point. Brett Reed says non-running related, but the Master just announced they're pushing back their 2021 ticket release. Unsure if people will be allowed into the tournaments. Yeah, yeah. I mean, how do you have to? I mean, I'm feeling pretty confident at this point that the Olympics aren't going to have spectators. It's going to be super weird. But like, I'm not feeling good about it. I mean, I haven't heard anything. I mean, the Olympics very well have like made some sort of announcement, but it just seems hard to envision it. Raymond Madison says, "Hi Kofuzi, a question from across the pond. I watch your videos about the Stride FootPod. Are you using the V2 now? If so, do you still rate it for accuracy?" I'm still on the version 1. I don't have like the wind enabled one. I was kind of waiting to see when this one I have dies. I've had it for several years now, and I really beat it up. So like, but it keeps coming back. It seems fine. So like, I'm gonna wait and see how long it takes to break, and then I'll get a new one. Dr. Vong 1216 says, when you do next year's award show, can you also do it in a tuxedo and at least a tuxedo shirt? Maybe. We'll see. I'm not sure. Is that the right move, or should I do it in like a full like jogging suit, like I were a coach, you know, like on the sidelines, like matching windbreaker and track pants. Like I think that's probably the better look for this kind of. Maybe we'll see. I don't know. That's funny. Carrie Smith says, Disney Marathon featuring Kofuzi Family 2021. I mean, I want to do the Disney Marathon, but like normally isn't it in January? So like, I don't know. They might, I mean, they're in Florida. So like they probably can have that event, but I'm not going. So I don't know. Maybe 2022. We'll see. Right. David Gutierrez Jr. says, hey, Co, what's your go-to recovery after logging a lot of miles or anything you do throughout the week, month, day in and day out? The only things that I'm doing regularly now is I'm doing like an actual warm-up before my runs every day. I do like a leg strength routine just to kind of get everything kind of moving and kind of stretched out and just a little bit of blood flowing. And then afterwards, I at least do like a deep squat and just kind of sit for a second, like right after the run, just to make sure everything feels okay. And then I've also lately been just doing like a standing, like bend, reach over and like, I can't touch my toes, but getting closer to touching my toes to stretch out the hamstrings. And that's kind of it. Other than that, if it's a high mileage week, I make sure I drink more water, even though I do have a 3 p.m. coffee. Try to drink more water and stay hydrated. And if I can, go to sleep early. The way I said that, it sounded like the end of a Jamie video. And if you can, go to bed. All right. Let's see. Lewis saying that the LA Marathon is $180. Wow. What do you guys think? Are races going to be really expensive when they come back? I mean, I could understand that if it does, but yeah, I don't know. I wonder if is it normally that expensive? It seems like a lot. Jenna asks 4%, next percent, or alpha flies. I mean, I'd like to run a marathon in the alpha flies. I don't know that I will. But I don't know. I have a soft spot for the 4%. And the foam is different. I was reading something else today where someone was like, the ZoomX isn't the same as in the next percent. The next percent is a little firmer. So I don't know. I feel like I think that there's still room to tinker with this Vaporfly series. Because like I would like the softness of the 4%, but I would like more of the width of the Alpha Fly. Right? The next percent didn't quite. There was something about it that didn't always feel stable to me. I mean, we're really picking nits at this point, but like, Yeah, but I'd probably go with the next percent. But the Alpha Fly has that draw because it's so flashy. So I don't know. On a different day, I might answer differently. Carrie Smith, Boston 9 versus Beacon 3. I go with the Boston 9. They're both great shoes though. But like the Boston 9, they both can run. You know what? I don't know. That's a good question because the Beacon 3 I think does better in long runs, like easy pace, and the Beacon 3 can go quick. But I think the Boston 9 does a better job of going fast. So maybe the Boston 9. Yeah, I think Boston 9. I'm going to go with my gut on that one. Frank said the Alpha Fly's got me all the PRs on Sunday. All right. I mean, it's a technological marvel for sure. It's an amazing shoe. Martha says, everyone talking about the 4%. Where can you even find those now? Are they not for sale anymore? Because like I thought for a while they were. I think they were still selling. I mean, they were still making like, well, last year they were definitely making new 4% Flyknits. Like I'd love to get, I mean, and then they did the next percent that you could get the next percent with the different uppers. Like you get the upper from like the version 1, you can get the Flyknit upper, you know. So like they were doing that for a little while. But like I did really like the upper on the first version. I also like Flyknit. I'm a big fan of Flyknit. I think they should do more on Flyknit. But yeah. But yeah, I don't know if they're not available anymore. But like it wasn't like they were just making like now there's green ones. It was like there was like an Ekiden version, which was not the Ekiden ones for the next percent, which were like the 2 color ones, like the left foot was different than the right foot. The 4% Ekidens were like white Flyknit, which I thought was beautiful. And then they had like a Gakuso version, which was like this weird burgundy color, which normally I like. I'm hit or miss on Gakuso actually. Sometimes I'm like, wow, this is the best looking shoe ever. And other times I'm like, that looks kind of weird. And I thought that the burgundy looked weird, but like they're making like special versions. Like I thought I saw, correct me guys if I'm wrong, but I thought I saw like a new Zoomfly like SP version come out. Like it was a weird like collab type version, but I thought I could have swear I saw like a new one that just came out, Lunar Lawn and everything. Maybe I imagined that. I don't know. Mark Jankova says, yeah, the 4% pops up randomly on the Nike app. Yeah, I think they're still there around. Dr. Funk says, I feel like you get more value for the Alpha Fly versus the next percent because you can get the Alpha Fly to probably about 400 to 500 miles. I would agree with that. I don't know that I would race with it at 400 miles, but you could certainly run on it that far for sure. Maybe not 500, but over 300, I think, depending on how hard you are on the rubber outsole. David Lidstone's here. What's going on? How are you? Carrie says, Mike, how long are you keeping the stash? At least until the spring. Although, yeah, at least until the spring. I don't know how much longer the rest of this is going to last, though. I was thinking, I might try growing it up for the winter just to kind of have a little extra warmth on the face. But the goatee part keeps freezing to my buff, and it's getting really uncomfortable. So I think it's got to go soon. But the mustache I'll keep for a while longer. Tony Vu says, for 5K racing, Endorphin Speed or Boston 9? Both are going to be good. I would go with the Endorphin Speed. Bryce Walters here says, love your videos. Thank you. I'm excited to try out my Nova Blast. It's a fun shoe. It took me a run to like really like settle. The first run I was like, I'm not sure about this. It's really squishy. And then it settled down and I was like, oh, the squishy is nice. Takoyaki Runner. Oh, okay. Takoyaki Runner. Says, it's so nice to find someone who wants a side of Hyperion Tempo with Dippin' Dots. That's so funny. Yeah, I don't know why, like, my first gut reaction when I see Hyperion Tempo is like, oh, that looks like future food. I don't know why, but that's instantly where my mind goes. Scott says, did you award best trail shoe of the year? I didn't, because like I don't think I could even do a top 5 because I don't think I reviewed 5 trail shoes. I just don't do that many trail miles. And but like I think next year I might do that. I mean, I don't know. I'm like glomming together like max cushion and trail seemed like a weird thing to do, but I don't know. Maybe I'll just, maybe next year I'll just, instead of top fives for everything, I'll just do some of my favorites. Just list my favorites. But I mean, I think my favorite. We talked about it a little bit yesterday. Someone asked me yesterday on the live stream. I think Torrent 2 is probably my favorite because I feel like that was really versatile, and I think exemplary for what I like. Like it turns out, I think I finally figured out what I want in a trail shoe is what the rest of the world calls like a commuter shoe or like the hybrid shoe, the one that you can run from your house to the trail and then run on the trail. Like that's the kind of shoe that I like, and the Torrent 2 is a fantastic example of that. I just really enjoyed it. But I also really love the Superior 4.5. But I feel like the Superior 4.5 is like, it looks like a trail shoe, but I'm not sure it is. Yeah. Someone was saying something earlier about hard pack surface, like crushed limestone. I'm trying to think about where that went. Sorry about that. Let's see. Dr. Funk. Dr. Funk, you're getting really excited about the year-end awards, like a ceremony. I mean, what would be funny? See, you guys have the best ideas, or you guys get me to get to better ideas. Like we should have made it like a Zoom dinner, with like getting Jamie out here and everything, and like we should have each like announced a category. That's what we're gonna have to do for now. I'm gonna see if I can get those guys to do it next year. Well, it'll be like an Academy Awards dinner. That'd be funny. Yeah, sorry, I don't know what someone was saying about the crushed limestone path, so I'm going to scroll back down to the bottom. Matan Mordahai says, when will you cut your hair? After I get the vaccine. Until then, I don't think a haircut is a necessary risk for me to take. Sharp Art says, you run every day. How do you avoid injury? Well, these days, part of that warm-up routine that I do, it's a lot of squats, single leg lunges, lateral lunges, single leg deadlifts, things like that, before my run. And then afterwards I try to just not really, I don't have a routine, but I do that squat, and that kind of tells me if there's anything that needs attention. And if there is, then I might stretch out that, but for the most part there isn't. And sorry, there's like a bug in here or something. There's also like ladybugs and stuff in here. I don't know what's going on today. But the other thing is most of my running is really easy. So yeah, so like it's not like I'm not like going after it every day. Boy says, I don't know if I said that right. Sorry. Companies to watch in 2021. I think Kraft is a company to watch. I think Gorewear is another one. Tracksmith, I think, is going to have a big year. Although I can't decide if I like Tracksmith or if I think Tracksmith is basically like everyone that like liked Abercrombie and Fitch back when Abercrombie and Fitch was big is now like just like 20 years later has found like a new thing to like, and that's Tracksmith. I'm not sure. I don't think there's a middle ground. I think it's one of the two. Either it's like the best thing to happen to running clothes or like the running version of Abercrombie. Yeah, I'm not sure. But those are some that I would look at in terms of apparel. I think the apparel brands are going to have a really big year in 2021. I mean, not that they should have had the biggest year this year because everyone was in running clothes all year long, or at least jogging pants. But I think that like once everyone's like can get back out there and like show off their running clothes again, I think it's going to be pretty exciting. Yeah. Let's see what else we got here. Takuyaki Runner says, have you ever tried the North Face trainers? I've always been very curious about it, but they all seem very trail hardened. So I just feel like it's going to be like too much for me, and I also think that they're really stiff for something. Ben Y says, my vote is to keep the long hair. Your hair is our collective ownership now. Okay. I mean, I'm leaning towards keeping it for a while. I mean, it took I probably got my last haircut realistically somewhere in early February, maybe end of January. So it's been almost a year long. So to just be like, yeah, let's cut it back to how it was. I don't know. I feel like there's going to be a little bit of a more of a, there's going to be more of a nervousness about cutting a lot of it off. Yeah. Where's Carl J? Where are you coming from with that? Oh, companies to watch in 2021. Carl's talking about Reebok. Yeah, if they're still around. There's a Forbes article posted yesterday about being sold. I've been hearing that too. Someone here in the live stream told me about it first, and then I Googled it, and what came up was a Lou Later, the Unbox Therapy guy, was talking about how Reebok can get spun off from Adidas, and I was like, he's the one that's reporting this? I mean, I guess he has a huge audience, so maybe that's the number that pop. That's his is the thing that pops first, but I don't know. It's just I'd be very interested to see if it spun off and to see if it's still is staying in the CrossFit genre. Is that enough to sustain a company, or can it do that and have good running shoes too? Because their Full Ride Energy or the Full Ride Grow that I had was great. I'd love to see them do more. Well, they're doing more. They made a whole line of shoes around that midsole foam. I guess it's on me to go explore them, but I'd like to see some more coming from Reebok as well. Aaron Montgomery says, can you recommend me some headphones, earbuds for running? Thanks. Yeah, I mean, it depends on the price range. For me at this point, if you want to get just $20 or $40 earbuds that are Bluetooth, pretty much whatever you get on Amazon is going to last you about a month. It'll be decent. There's nothing that's exceptional. There's nothing that's terrible, kind of in that price range. But they're probably not going to last longer than a month. That's just been my experience with that. I feel like you really need to spend closer to $60 to $80. And at that point, one of the things I'm looking for is noise canceling. So that way you can have has a transparency mode that you can hear everything that's going around you as well. So that's kind of what I'm looking for. And there's, again, a lot of stuff that's in that range too. Some of my favorite earbuds from this year are a little bit more expensive than that. One that's been really surprising to me is the Pamu Quiet. Now, I don't really like to recommend Pamu because they sell on Indiegogo, and so it seems super sketchy and it takes a long time to get your order, depending on when you order. Sometimes it'll be fast, sometimes it'll take 4 weeks. So that's kind of weird, but the Pamu Quiet has noise canceling. The noise canceling is really good. The sound quality is excellent, and it's $110 or something like that. So you're getting way more than you pay for. And mine have lasted a long time, all summer long. But at that point, you're getting really close to AirPods. That works for me. Some people, the fit doesn't work for them. That works for me. Even though they don't have noise canceling, they're not so stuck in your ear that I feel like it's okay. But then once you're at AirPods, I'm like, well, you're pretty close. Then you're at Jabra Elite territory. Jabra Elite 75T. They just pushed. I don't have mine with me, so I haven't tested it. But they just pushed an update to their noise canceling, so you can tinker with through the app how much of ambient noise comes in, and there's other improvements that are coming in. So there's that. The Jabra Elite 75T has been out for a little while, so you can get that. I think at about the price of AirPods these days. So I'd probably go with the Elite 75T. That'd probably be my main recommendation. So those are some to look at. If you need an ear loop, get the Power Beats, but they're expensive, and I had problems with mine. But that's really, there's not a lot in the game with a lot of ear loops that I've tested. Going to Tracksmith, Martha says, the items I bought from Tracksmith, only one order so far, are really high quality, comfortable fabric, and nice details. Yeah, I think someone else was saying that, that they really like their gear. And I have two pieces from them. I have the half tight and then the full length tight. And they're really good. They're definitely good. But it's really expensive, and so it's is it that good? I'm not sure. I'm not sure, but like I can't argue with the fact that it is good. And it's like, if it's at top of the clean pile in the laundry and I'm like opening the drawer and looking for running pants to wear, like I'm usually pretty excited when I see those that are in there. So it's like, it's good. And Shannon says, I feel like Tracksmith is the cool kids running line, and I'll stick with Marshalls and Lulu if I get a gift card to there. Yeah. I mean, that's a part of it too, is that it's like, it's very like, it's almost like too well advertised is its problem, which is like a weird problem, but like, that's the kind of thing that happens. All right. Bowie says, you never know how to pronounce my name. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. It's Bowie, silent E, U, B, B, B-U-E. B-U-E. How about B-U-E? B-U-E. Yeah. Jeff Elliott says, for the headphones, his son got the Jabra Elite 75T for Christmas and really loves them. Yeah, I mean, the 65T were great too. So if you're really looking for a deal and you can find the 65T, get that. The 75T are a little bit lighter, sounds a lot better, but not like a world better. So like it's an upgrade, but I wouldn't like if you got the 65T. I'm not going to tell you to race out and get them. But the 75T is kind of like for whenever I look at it, basically over like $120, everything gets compared to the 75T. That's like my benchmark. Because I feel like for the price, sound quality, I can go on and on about them. I really wish Jabra would send me stuff, but they don't. I just got to buy it all myself. But I love it. It's really good. Jeff Elliott says, I think he thinks he paid $40. You paid $40 for the Jabra Elite 75T? No way. That's not right. Are we talking about something else? Oh, no. He's talking about the RAI version of the Houdini running rain jacket. Okay. That's different. All right. DD says, Tracksmith is top quality. Their turnover tights are the best. I don't like the pretentious marketing, though. Yeah. I don't know that I would quite go pretentious, but I'm not going to argue with you that I'm not saying that's a wrong word either. So I know where you're coming from on that. I think what I have are the turnover tights. They're a little bit too tight, I think. Not too tight, but they don't leave anything to the imagination is the only thing that I have about it. It's very tight in certain spots. So, but like for running, it's just great. I do really like them. Ben Weiss says, I use the Cambridge Audio Melomania. Amazing sound quality if you can get the fit right. I've not heard of Cambridge before. Rohan Kamrar says, the Sony Walkman WS623 are expensive, but are fully waterproof. They have storage, or you can do Bluetooth. They last a long time as well. They fit well. That's interesting. A lot of the Sony ones, though, seem to stick out far, and I get worried in the wintertime because I wear the winter hat if it would like put a lot of pressure on my ears. So that's like my main concern there. All right. Let's see. Oh, Kurt's here. Says, hey, folks, I know it's the end, but just got off a call. So, hi. Awesome. Welcome, Kurt. Dr. Funk 1216 says, Sony's still making Walkman. I think that's what like the earbuds are called, right? Because it's not like, I don't know if it's are they called the Walkman? But I like the WS623. That sounds familiar to me. Maybe I'm mistaking it for something else. But yeah, Sony's been making a variety of like the ones that I would love to try are, but like I don't want to spend the money on it because I just don't think I'm going to like them, are the Sony ones and then the Bose ones. They look big. That's the thing. For earbuds, like I feel like they stick out of the ear a lot, like far this way. And so I'm worried about my winter hat. And I'm also worried about weight when you're sweating, when something's like that. So like, I don't know. If they sent them to me, I would definitely be very excited to review them, but I'm not going to spend my own money on them. At least not yet. James Nelson, let's answer this question and I'll get going for the day. Says, hey, would you suggest the Pegasus 37? I got bad knees and I'm looking for suggestions. If you've got bad knees, I'm not sure that I would go with the Peg 37. If you want a Pegasus, I would go with the 36 instead. It's a softer shoe than the 37 was for me. But otherwise, I would also look at like the Nova Blast the Bondi 7, and well, I think the Ride maybe the Clifton 7 over the Ride. So like 2 Hokas, Clifton and Bondi, and then the Nova Blast. Those are all a lot softer, so I think they're going to be a little bit easier on your knees. So that's kind of where I would go instead. All right. All right, I'm going to leave it there for today, guys. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. I had a bunch of fun. Hope you guys did, too. Tomorrow's video is going to be how much I make in a year video. So, like, I got to put that together. So it probably won't be, like, very early when I do that one, because that one usually takes a while. But we'll do that. So we'll kind of look at the year-long statistics, and I won't blur anything. You guys can see it all. And then, but we'll do another live stream. It'll be New Year's. So I guess it'll be like we can call it a New Year's countdown. We'll start a little bit early so that when we hit the 3 o'clock, we'll just say, Happy New Year's if you want to do that. It's Thursday, so I'll be drinking. So, and I got something new that we haven't seen on Happy Hour yet before. So looking forward to that, guys. Hopefully I'll see you then. In the meantime, be safe out there, everybody. Thanks.